welcome to my playthrough of Chrono Trigger. This is part 13, getting the Masamune. We'll be starting out with the boss battle. After all that grinding in that dungeon. And believe me, there's a part of me that says I never want to see it again, but I know I left a lot of items behind. And like I also said, it's loaded enough that you can do some grinding for TP and XP here. Now this boss will store the lightning and do a full screen attack with it, and he isn't really stunned. And because I got her techs up par, getting her at least 4 of them, yeah, we were able to handle this boss battle much better. But always make sure you attack him after the lightning strike, because that's the only way to drop his defenses. Sadly, he's a little brat and does that about every second or third attack. So be prepared to heal. Matter of fact, it does no damage. Until he gets shocked. But after he gets shocked, 500-600 points of damage for an attack is nice. And as you can see, 8 to 16 is about all the damage I do for lightning. But it doesn't take very many hits now to take him out the first time you fight him. And it doesn't matter whether you get to tell him the truth or not about the gate key. He says the same thing. And she says the same thing as Lucia, if you have Lucia in your party. But I definitely don't bring Lucia the first playthrough. I'd rather have the healer. Get anything we need. Got all the weapons and armor we can get here. Heal up real quick and head back to Melkor with the Dreamstone. And the nice thing about having two all-screen attacks. Oh, I don't have Lightning 2 yet, sorry. But I have that. Now, like I said, that first time we were stuck with Al in the party and stuck in this time period. Now, if there's anything you want to do with any of the other characters, now's the time to do it. Because once we get the sword fixed and meet up with Frog, he's locked into our party until we beat the Year 600 main boss. And that can take a while. Matter of fact, that'll be about an hour and a half away. I'll take the Dreamstone to Melkor. Let Robo make it. The funny thing is, him and Lucia use the exact same movements while making the sword. And this will take a few minutes. And our next stop, after this is repaired, is Frog. Because other than grinding with the characters we have, and possibly taking on Spico, since he's one of those always there fights. There's not much else to do. first thing you want to do after you get Frog is take him to Spico and get his magic, because he doesn't have it yet, since this is a new game. And he won't be able to get any other skills in his tech tree until then. And now that we've presented him the sword, we get to see his past. And we find out Frog's real name. Eventually. The first time I played this, I didn't know Frog was Cyrus or not. And we'll leave that mystery to be solved as the story continues. Now, which of these two is Frog? Will it be Cyrus or will it be Glenn? And if the backgrounds they're fighting in look very familiar, it's because I believe they just reused the woods from in front of the castle. Matter of fact, where the frog's sitting is where we picked up the speed tab in this time period. Or strength capsule. My bad. And there's Ozzy and Magnus. Not only do they kill him, they burn his body. I guess we now know who Frog is. And in future playthroughs of New Game Plus, I have had the tendency to name him that again. Yes, I've been keeping Meryl in as my third character this run. But Frog also has a nice healing spell. Not as strong as Aura, but it works. And with Frog, he's usually the first one that I get the triple text with. Because you're stuck with him in your party, where you can't switch him or Chrono out for the longest time. And all that TP just went to Chrono and Meryl. Frog is maxed out on his skills right now. That's why the first thing you do is go and see Spico at the end of time. And get him his water magic. But this combination of characters is usually the easiest one to get your first triple tech. And now I introduce Frog to my mother in the game and see her reaction. I also try the mini game for the clone. Real quick while I'm here. And I believe I get it in this one. And I finally got my Lightning 2 and learned some new double techs. And I believe I did take this out to where I had 80 for the points. And I found out, according to one of the guides I read, that it doesn't matter if you keep the cat food full or not by winning the lower level 10-pointer mini game. The cats will go if they're randomized to go or not. Because the only real bad ending in this game, like I said, now that trial's over, eat his food. Excuse me. My biggest problem doing this mini game was I was confusing what went to the A and what went to the B button. I forgot A was the one arm. And B was surprise. I believe I'm confusing it because I believe it was the opposite on the Super Nintendo. That's why I checked the cat food. Was with that belief, as long as you kept the cat food full, it kept the cats from going in. Like I said, I read that that doesn't happen. And then they changed it up. Because the last one was wedged. This time it's now saying P8. No. Whether I need it or not, I always hit that and save. And I did give him a try, since I had the double text. But he just wipes the floor with me. And unfortunately, because the mechanic of him changing every 10 levels, you can only fight him at the higher levels when you go in for New Game Plus. And after you reach level 99, you can only fight him at the level 99 version. But if you time everything right with your levels and beat him before he changes to the next form, you should in theory, be able to get up to 9 magic tabs off of him, capsules. Your first playthrough. Now enjoy the next cutscene, where they cut off what he has to say and go into the video. Now we get the rest of his story as Glenn. And it's the same woods again. So judging from that, I guess these two boys grew up in the town at the same town Chrono grew up in. Nice view of off the bridge. And if you select the bridge, now that it's complete, we're in the present time, it's the exact same view. And now we see frog become frog. And curse his luck. Because his best friend was murdered. He was changed into a frog. Which unfortunately is not a spell Magnus has. Constantly. So I've always assumed it was caused by an item. And with this, let's see if we can see what he says. Because I believe it cuts it off before you have time to read it to this cutscene. It's a shame they didn't get voice actors for this, so it's read off instead. Cut that. Unless you have a way to pause it, which in game you don't. You'll never be able to read everything he says in the time they give you. So his work is forever lost. Where do you find a video like this one? Get to that scene and pause it. Next video, we'll start our raid on Magnus's castle.